if state also had an array on it called acrobats? We'll just initialize that as an empty array. No, let's put something in there. Who's an acrobat? Choose an acrobat. You an acrobat, Razor? Sure you are. Like that? Is that right? Oh, who else is acrobatic? Reti? You do the trapeze? Is that what you do? Yeah, I thought so. You can always tell a trapeze artist. All right, so we've got an array in state now. Now, what if we want to say, give me an LI for every one of those rascals? I bet that's going to be, that's going to take us a day and a half. If this class has taught me anything. Well, in our render function here, in addition to our H1, let's go ahead and put a UL in there. So if we're going to go into multiple lines here, we need to put parentheses around it. So put parentheses around it. There's our H1. Let's put a UL under that. Oh no, I get a red exclamation here. I broke it. What'd I do? Adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Your return value, well, let me ask you this. Could I say something like, okay, leave me alone. Would it make any sense inside a function to say return React.createElement React.createElement? Does that make any sense as a return value? Of course not. That doesn't make any sense. What are you returning? One after the other? That does not compute. Can't do that. You need to return one element. So what we could do is just wrap them both in a div. Totally fine. You can have an element with lots of children, but you must return a single element. There's a way around it, but that's not worth getting into just yet. Plus, it's really new in the very latest version of React. But you must return one thing. So if I want a UL, I need to wrap them both in a div. All right, so I have a UL here. And I really just want to say, for everything in this.state.acrobats, give me an LI. If I want to do the same thing to everything that's in an array, how do I do that? For each. And what if I want it to return another array with the return values of that function? Map. It's for each in map. In this case, map is exactly what we want. Let's see if it's all true. Just put in some curly braces. We're going to put a JavaScript expression in the middle of our JSX. This.state.acrobats. That's my array. Let's just map over that thing. And how does map work? Exactly the same syntax as for each. It takes a function that receives as its argument each item in the array, the current item in the array. So we could call it acrobat, the argument. Remember, with an arrow function, you don't have to put parentheses around the argument if there's only one argument. And then the body of our function, I think I also pointed out that you don't actually need the word return if it's a one-liner. If an arrow function is just one line long, it's automatically going to return that thing. So that makes stuff like this read super well. So what if I just say li, just some JSX, so I'm returning the result of React.createElement, really. But I'm just writing it as JSX. And then inside there, I could put curly braces again and just say acrobat. Holy smokes, look at that. And it just happened. Just like magic. I'm mapping over everything in this array For each item in that array, I'm just spitting out an li with that item, which is just a string, as its content. It's that easy. Now this could have been a named function. It doesn't have to be an anonymous function like that, right? I could have put another method on here maybe that says render acrobat, and it takes as its argument an acrobat, and it just returns that li. And then say render acrobat here. I must have screwed something up. This dot render acrobat. What did I do? Oh, parentheses. Got blown away. There we go. Works exactly the same. Right? Because this is basically the same method that we wrote in line there. Could do it either way. If it's that simple, you're pretty much always going to see it as an arrow function. But you could totally do either way. So, acrobat. So it kind of makes sense how this is a more declarative way of saying the same thing. So we're already doing kind of a large chunk of what that other app did.